Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to this live broadcast. I am Skip LaCour. I am so glad you are here with me for this live broadcast. You know what? It doesn't matter if you are watching me live or in a replay version. I'm so glad you are here. Most of the driven, ambitious men who love this MANformation training, this MANformation lifestyle, they watch on the replay version, but I really love it. All of you who are joining me live so we can interact, tell me where you're from. Tell me what you're loving about this MANformation journey that we're going through together. I always want to acknowledge you for being here, whether you're watching me live or on a replay version. Let me know where you're from. Let me acknowledge you for being here. I'm going to do that all throughout the broadcast. I'm going to do it later on today. I'm going to do it for the next couple of days. So it doesn't matter if you're watching me live or on a replay version. Make sure that we connect and we use the power of this internet from all over the world to connect. Set your notifications, because every time I go live, I want you to be here. I want you to be here joining me. And also make sure you're on all of my social media platforms. YouTube, Skip LaCour, Instagram, Skip LaCour, Twitter, Periscope, Skip LaCour, because I'm doing a live broadcast probably every single day, and I want you to be with me every single day to go through our journey, our MANformation, to become our best both inside and outside of the gym. Now I'm going to finish off this MANformation training workout with you while more driven, ambitious men come on to this live broadcast. All right, so I'm going to be doing that. Again, this is a great time for you to tell me where you're from. I'll acknowledge you throughout this. If I don't acknowledge you while I'm live, I'll do it later. Set your notifications to jump on live. During this video, I'm going to talk about training tips for older men. So if you are an older man and you really want to take your efforts to the next level, you're going to really benefit what I have to say during today's broadcast. I'm going to give training tips for older men. Now, it's not just for older men. It's for older men who, they just don't want to look great. They have productive, busy lives. They want more in all areas of life. That is a lot different from someone who just wants to put all their willpower, focus, time, and energy into their training and eating, or they're trying to do that and they're older. So during this broadcast, I'm going to give you training tips for older men with busy, productive lives. All right, so let me get back to this training. So glad you are here. Hello, Alan. Good morning from London, Ontario, Canada. So glad you are here, sir. Hello, Hector. Hello, amigo. Van, hello, Joseph. Jeff is here. Feeling strong today. Awesome. Good to have you guys here. Couple training tips while I'm doing the shoulders. Now, I'm always going to push myself to lift the heavy weight, continually overload the muscle with more weight than it's done before. That's how you stimulate more growth faster. But weight isn't the most important factor. Form, feeling, and execution, mind-muscle connection is very important too. But I'll always encourage you to think and, not or. Don't go from one extreme to the other. Like weight isn't important, so form is the only thing that's important. And I don't want you to think weight is the most important thing and you throw form out the window. You want to have that healthy balance, just like a lot of things in life, right? Some things that I keep in mind while I'm doing these dumbbell laterals is I visualize a nice wide arc on the way up and on the way down, right? I visualize that, really think about the targeted muscle group. Now, other thing too is on the way down, I want to fight gravity May not look like it, but in my mind, I'm fighting that negative to slow it down. Don't let the weight take it down. Get a little bit more out of the movement. Let's see, look at this from a different angle here. Hello, Roy. Good to have you here. Devondra, good to have you here. All right, guys, when I get into the message, I'm going to talk about training tips for older men, and not just training tips for older men, training tips for older men with busy, productive lives. All right. So good to have you here today. All right, so let's talk about some training tips for older men who have busy, productive lives. Well, the first thing I want you to think about is, what is older? All right, you might go through the internet, whether it's on Facebook or YouTube, and there'll be passionate experts who are telling you what older men can and can't do. Now, we're all individuals. You gotta set your own limits in life. You can't go by what the masses think you should do. It may apply to you, it may not apply to you, but it's really important for you to just think about this whole older concept. I mean, it's easy to kind of conceptualize that when you're older, you aren't going to be as strong. You're not going to be able to lift as much weight, do as many reps, train longer, recover faster, right? All those things, conceptually, you will not be able to do it as effectively and efficiently than when you're younger. But when it comes to bodybuilding and training, older, the first thing you should think about is older and your performance compared to what? Now, if you're in your 40s or 50s, like a lot of the driven, ambitious men who love this MANformation training mindset lifestyle, you're in your 40s or 50s, you have a productive life. Maybe, like a lot of guys who've been following me for 20 years, you really left it all on the floor. You really trained hard. You really focused with the eating. Maybe it was a big part of your life, and it isn't now. All right? Now, you have something to compare when people will tell you what older men can and can't do, right? But if you're a man and you really didn't leave it all on the floor, maybe now some time has opened up in your life and now you're dedicated to fitness for the first time, all right? Or you just kind of dabbled before, all right? What someone says you can and can't do, that doesn't apply to you, because you don't have anything to compare it to. And we don't want to glamorize, oh, back in the day, I used to be able to lift 1,000,000 pounds, or I was really into my training. You got to be honest with yourself. Because if you really didn't go for it back there and you weren't dedicated, I mean, this is your best time. So if you start off saying that I can't lift as much when I'm younger, you set that in your mind. Well, what does that mean? You didn't really try that hard when you were younger, and so you may be setting limits just because of the thought of old. The guys, I've been helping out men just like you for over 30 years on the internet. My first internet website 20 years ago. There are men who, when they hit 30, they think that they're old, and they set these limiting beliefs, and they start comparing themselves when they're in their 20s, their metabolism, their strength, and all of these things, right? Then you have men in their 50s. All right, maybe they just started training a few years ago, and they just feel unlimited in what they can do. So, right, age is a mindset, and more than that, it's compared to what? So, Do I have to? You're not going to be as strong compared to what? Your strength is going to decrease when you get older. You won't be able to recover faster. Your metabolism isn't as fast. Again, compared to what? You should only be concerned with the limitations of an older person if you really did your work. You were really dedicated. You really pushed yourself earlier in life, a few years ago, because putting that older tab for a body that's fresh and new, even though it's older, a body and mind that's fresh to training, all you're doing is setting these limited beliefs, limited standards that may not apply to you. So that's the first thing to think about, is what is old to your body. And remember, it's all in comparison to what you used to do. So you don't want to start off with those limits right away. Continue on. Keep on posting your comments and your questions down below. Now, as I'm doing these rear dumbbell lateral raises, I'll tell you, what I try to do is visualize that I'm really overcompensating. My elbow's going way, way, way forward. All right, so I can hit that very challenging sometimes to hit rear delt. All right, but I know I've studied my game tape enough that your elbows have the tendency to go back. If you think they're way up here, they're probably here. And you probably saw that with me. So the challenge is keeping those elbows forward, like closer to the waist rack, closer to the wall. That's going to be the challenge. So if you start off thinking that you're doing this, you're probably doing this. And you see that a lot in the gym. And you're going to miss, right? So overcompensate, think that you're way up here, and you'll probably be down here, and you'll hit those rear delts, all right? Also, on the same type of feel, I want to explode on the way up, and I want to fight that gravity as much as I can. It may look like it's going the same speed or faster on the way down than coming up, but in my mind, I'm fighting that gravity and doing my best to control the weight on the way down. If you're an older man, I'm going to have a special offer for you at the end of this video. I want to talk to you if you're older, you're really passionate about taking your physical body, whatever you call it, training, working out, exercise, it really doesn't matter, but you want to take your physical fitness to the next level. At the same time, you've got a busy, challenging, productive life. Maybe you're following the information from the most passionate 25-year-old, 30-year-old fitness experts on YouTube, on Facebook, on Instagram, and you know those strategies are just too extreme. You don't have that much space in your brain. You can't, you would love to, maybe you did before, to prioritize fitness as much as you did in the past, or some of these fitness experts. And you're not really doing anything because you know you can't commit to that training and to that mindset, right? Well, I've got a special offer for you to reach out to me over this entire week. I'm taking calls, questions from men who are older, and they have busy, demanding lifestyles, but at the same time, they want to take their body to the next level. I know what that's like. That's the stage that I am in now, just like you. At 55 years old, got a lot bigger things. You connecting with you, taking your lives to the next level, your training to the next level. My family, things that I didn't have when I was that focused, dedicated, 6-time national champion bodybuilder. That was my passion, identity, obsession, career. All right, I have more of that lifestyle that you have now, where you're older, you're busy, you're productive, but you want to have a great body, right? You can't do that extreme thinking or extreme training and eating, and you still want to get it done. We're in the same place. I have the perspective of every 25-year-old, 30-year-old YouTube passionate expert, Instagram, Facebook. I have that, plus the perspective and the life that you have there too. So you can go to skiplacour.com/coaching. skiplacour.com/coaching. There are some questions that I have for you to fill out. And I'll be going through those all throughout the week. I'm going to reach out to you. So give me your phone number there, and it doesn't matter where you are in the world. And this entire week, I'm going to talk to older men who want to have a great body. And they also want to have a great life. It's busy, it's productive. And the mindset, the attitude, the strategy, the extreme nature of all the fitness experts have you a little overwhelmed. All right. I want you to reach out to me today. Go to skiplacour.com/coaching. I'm just spending this entire week talking to you as an older man who wants to have a great body and a great life too. And it's too busy to conform. You're not doing the things you know you should do. All right, I'm going to give you some more tips, but I want to say hello to everybody. Hello, founder. Thank you so much. Gaetano, hello. Ghouls, hello. Paul is watching. Hello, Paul. Good to have you here. Salam, Jeff. Great advice, Skip. Enjoying the live broadcast from Gold Coast, Australia. Great to have you here, Jeff. Great to have all of you here from all over the world. And again, it doesn't matter if you're watching this on a replay version. Make sure you post your comments, your questions, and suggestions. Tell me where you're from. Even when in the replay version. All right. All right, guys. And I'll go through all the comments and the questions all throughout the day. All right, so make sure you keep on posting them. Let's talk more about the training tips for older men. All right, let's talk about actual training in the gym. All right. You know, when you get older, especially if you've really left it all on the floor in your younger age, you will have to have train with. It's about the volume of training that you do versus the weight and the intensity. It's important for you to remember that. All right. Recovering, you may need more recovery each time. You may not be able to lift as much weight. All right. The important thing that you need to remember about training, though, is that you got to be realistic, right? If you can't lift with that intensity, with all that weight, that's okay. That's going to be okay, but you're going to have to make up for it with volume. So when you see all these different training routines, maybe even a training routine that is designed for older men, it's really about how much you put into it, right? And if you know, like me, for example, it's all about getting results. It's not about my ego, right? When I was that 6-time national champion bodybuilder, that's all I thought about was training, right? And I had a training partner with me, stopping eating 6-8 times a day for years, a certain level of strength. I know I can't train that way anymore, and it's not just because of my physical body, and certainly not because of disempowering beliefs. It's just, you know, I know what I did before. I can't do that now. I don't have the same mental conditions. I don't want to put that much priority, and I don't have a training partner for safety. So I'm not going to be able to train as heavily, but I still want to have the results. I can't do the same amount of volume, the same amount of exercises, sets. I have to think differently to compensate for the weight that I'm not doing. All right, so if you're not training as heavy because you're older, you're going to have to make it up with volume. Here's another thing. If you aren't able to train as heavily, all right, you're also going to have to make it up with even better form, feel, and execution. So remember that, right? If you get older and you can't train as heavily, all right, that's okay. All right, you just need to make up for it with volume. all right, and form, feel, and execution. All right, so remember that when it comes to training. Probably the biggest advice that I can give you is when you're looking for all the information is pick a mentor who can at least empathize and understand with your conditions, right? We only have so much willpower, focus, energy, and time. And I don't care how powerful you are, you only have so much to allocate it to your entire life. You may not be in the same mental conditions as that fitness expert where it's their entire life. And I had a gentleman come to me this week for coaching, and he's 40 years old, busy life, and he wants to look great just like anybody else. And he had a fitness professional, and he said, well, what if my work, what are some things that I can do with my training and eating with my work schedule? And he said, look, you know, we just consider those excuses. If you really want it badly, okay, you would just eliminate those excuses and just stop and train and eat, all right? And you know what, if you want to master your physical body, there's a good point. Nothing should stop you, just do whatever it takes, all optimal strategies, all right? But as you focus over here, it's going to come out from your other parts of your life. That's just the way that it is. Somewhere along the line. All right. So the question is, are there more effective and efficient strategies that can have you a body that's still amazing, outstanding, but conserve some of that willpower, focus, energy, and time, so you can continue with your family, your life, your business, your legacy? Yes, there are, and those may not be some things that really passionate fitness expert comes to mind. And here's the thing, that fitness professional really dedicated, great at what he does. Those factors just aren't things that he considers. I mean, he may understand, but his job is to have you, give you the best body humanly possible with his strategies, right? He doesn't have to maybe consider or doesn't care to consider all the factors that you do. So he might intellectually understand what you're saying, but he can't really empathize because he's not walking in those steps, right? Here's the other thing, it doesn't even matter what age they are. I mean, there are many fitness professionals out there that are 50 years old, but it's still everything in the world to them, right? There's a strategy like when it comes to eating, they'll have regular men who just, you know, want to have a great body. It's not everything in the world to them, where they have these complex eating strategies, like they're rotating their carb cycles, right? Now, some strategies, whether it's training or eating, I'm not saying that they aren't productive at all, but they may give you a 2% difference. It makes your life a lot more complicated for just a 2%, 5% difference. But it complicates it where you don't, either you give it all to the gym and then you suffer in other areas of life. And this is what I really don't want you, if you're a man, is to think that you can only train and eat like you did in your 20s. You know you can't dedicate that anymore. So you're not doing anything. And you're saying someday, I'm going to get back on and get really into it like I was back in my 20s, right? That's not going to work. That day's never going to come, right? Or, you know, you just change all your thinking and all your habits to be that person in the gym, even get the results. But it's not sustainable for your life right now. And that falls apart, and then you're just going to have to give up those training and eating strategies later. There is a way. So if you're an older man and you have a busy life, go to skiplacour.com/coaching this entire week. Answer those questions that I have for you there. Put your phone number down. I'll reach out and we'll talk about how we can do this. I have resources to you from eating and training, a lot more things to come. So comment down below if you have any more questions for older men with busy schedules. Maybe that's you. Tell me what you found most valuable about this time that we spent together. Tell me if it just stimulated more questions. I can answer those for you in the comment section. Again, make sure you like my YouTube channel, like my Facebook page, set the notifications so every time I go live, I'm going to have a lot more training, mindset, and lifestyle advice for older men with busy schedules. All right, guys, let's see. I want to make sure I get everybody before I go. Irfan, good to have you here. All right, guys, so that's going to do it for today's live broadcast. Again, if you're watching this in the replay version, that's great too. Post your comments, your questions. Tell me where you're from down below. Answer the questions that I have for you. If you're an older man and you're trying to get it all in, you want to look great, I know what that's like, and have a busy schedule too. You're overwhelmed by all the training needs, strategies by the most passionate fitness experts. Answer the questions that I have for you at skiplacour.com/coaching. I'm going to reach out to you the entire week. All right, guys, have a great day. Have an outstanding day. Have an awesome day. Think big and think bigger than getting bigger.